It's a lot of things happening in the shop today. One of those things, right, where the end of a lot of projects takes a long time.
You see, at any time, multiple projects are running side by side, and they're often interconnected. So if one thing falters,
I need to find 6 mil, Kaz.
so does something else.
We failed at that, didn't we, Brian?
It's gonna be one of those days.
So, today, my aim is to tie up as many loose ends as possible and get us back on track.
Ride your bike to work day. There's actually a path that goes right from the end of our streets right to across the street from the yard. It's literally, when I ride the bike, it's 2 minutes longer than driving.
How was the bicycle ride?
It was beautiful. Such a nice ride. I like it because there's no hills too, it's just flat.
Yeah.
This morning I'm making up these mounts. These are going to be mounts for the gray water tank, for the showers and the heads and stuff.
So basically the shower and the sink will go into this gray water tank pump, and then it will get pumped up into the gray water main pipe that Brian has done and exit in the back of the boat. How did it go?
I think it did pretty good. I ended up changing a little bit. Instead of using the angle like I was planning and weld into the bottom, I figured I could take advantage of these stringers in the bottom of the hole and just put it across like this. And so, you know, I've got a level place to mount this box, and the nice thing about it is now it's up above like this.
So Brian has just welded in the bars that the pump is going to sit on, and I think it turned out really good. It gives him a little bit more flexibility to kind of put it right where he wants it.
Perfecto, perfecto.
So we're also going to be able to access this pump really easily. So
This whole thing will be a hatch, so I'll have good access around both sides to work with it.
because I feel like this is something that can potentially have to be maintained every now and then if it clogs up and stuff, and if it's a lot of people using that bathroom. So.
And now I'm going to start working on the black water tanks, because I'm at the point where I can start running a lot of hoses. You know, the toilet is going to be right here, so I need the fill hose and the feed for the pump. I'm just starting to map things out.
Yep.
In my head. I know where everything's supposed to go. Now I just need to make sure I have all the pieces and figure out the best way to run it. And the main reason I'm doing all this stuff right now is because we'll probably end up painting this bilge, because this bilge could have water in it. And so I want to paint that, and before I paint it, all the welding has to be done.
It's a lot of things happening in the shop today. One of those things, right, where the end of a lot of projects takes a long time, and yeah, I think it's just fun to see all of these things just kind of finishing up.
And one of today's top priorities is tackling a project that we started many, many months ago and finally bring it closer to completion.
What are you working on, Dan?
We're going to put some recessed hatches in.
Dan is working really hard on the recessed hatches. So we're gonna have flush hatches, which means there's gonna be like a frame that the hatch kind of sits in.
So this distance right here is exactly the height of the hatches. It's 32 millimeters, I believe. And so when we embed the hatches down on this, the top of the glass will come right up to the top of the deck, exactly to the millimeter.
But there was one small problem.
We got a hole that's too big for the hatch,
So why did the hole end up too big?
because that was pre-cut in the kit. So we're going to fill the hole and then cut the hole again and then weld the hatch in.
Wait, you have to fill the whole thing? Or no?
No, just part of it. Start by welding those in. We've got to weld the underside back, grind the top, weld it flush, grind it off, cut a new hole, sit them in, weld her up.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's me uncle. And we'll blaze her up and grind her back.
Like it never happened.
That's it. You'll never know it was there.
How many shirts do you use a day, Dan?
Oh, 2 or 3.
That one is a little bit dry on the front here.
Yeah, what about that?
No, that's not dry at all.
What is it? 9 o'clock.
Not even. Oh no, it's 9:40.
9:40. It's nearly smoko time.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Have these been quite a pain in the butt?
Just a lot of work.
So on the last boat you did, like how much easier was that, you say?
Much easier because all the hatch size is already cut on. You don't even have to mark them out. You just cut the hole.
And then you just plunk the hatch in. Yeah, and here we have to do like drainage and yeah. But it's gonna look so
It
cool.
looks sweet. Slick. Crisis averted.
I can't wait to see the hatches in there.
I was going to go and grab one and put it in.
Really?
I think we should, eh?
I think
Make
we
sure it's
should.
gonna fit.
Moment of truth here.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
And now we needed to go see a man about some hatches.
So it's been a couple of months actually, and it's been a lot of decisions to get to this point, but we're gonna go and see when our windows are made and the doors as well.
It's quite a feat. It's all custom aluminum fabrication because it's not like a house at all where you just select the size window, the style of door, and you go and grab it. Everything is custom made, you know, from the beginning. We chose how big we want the windows to be, what type of frames, what type of extrusions are going to be made from, if they're like gas struts, lifting, not the type of latches. Like,
Yeah, you've done a lot of research too when it comes to like different materials and
we've got the templates too for the saloon windows.
Yep.
The aluminum frames they do based off of the plans, and then we cut holes to suit the frames. However, the pure glass windows that don't have frames, that are just the big tempered glass ones, that's what the templates are for, because the frames themselves are fabricated as part of the boat. We've been chatting for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months now
7 or 8
about
months.
the windows,
Time-
and it's
time.
finally coming along, and we're really excited to be here.
Time flies.
It does. It's
through
just amazing to see the progress that have been made, and you make all these drawings and all these plans, and then in the end, it turns out into something like this. So this is actually one of our windows?
See the drawings come to fruition. Yeah, this is your forward-facing hopper window. Stands vertical, opens to 90, 95 degrees on gas struts. Gets your handle to assist with twin dog locks. It will hold itself closed without the dog locks in position, and then hold itself open. So you just give it a little push,
nudge.
and then the gas will take over. And each strut is calculated in the engineering process to suit the weight. And we work out the force that's required over 2 struts to open it to, in this case, 95 degrees.
Yep, because we want it to go all the way up.
All the way up.
So can you imagine the helm's going to be right here? So when we open this up, we're going to be able to get a lot of breeze come in, or when we close it, we're going to get a lot of protection as well. So these turned out quite well.
They've turned out really well.
That's a whole nother thing. We're doing a lot of things that make our life more difficult on this project, but I think they will turn out to really make sense in the end. So you can see that this is the normal radius, and we chose this type of material because it was a heavier, it's like your heavy duty type of extrusion, and because it's the heavier extrusion, you can't bend it very sharply.
We've got the best of both worlds here. So yeah, you're absolutely spot on. This is the heavy duty section. It's directly bonded to your superstructure. So we've got the radius corner, which I believe adds strength to your superstructure to maintain the radius.
Exactly.
But we've got the mitered cornered look. So as the windows butt up against one another, it'll look seamless.
There's a lot of angles on the boat, a lot of square edges, and not very many like broad, sweeping round curves.
That's
and
right.
so also all the hatches that we've chosen have like 10 mil radiuses.
Yes.
So we wanted to do something that made everything kind of like fit together. And this is what we came up with. And it was actually your idea. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, the company's 70 years established.
Is it a family business?
It's a family business. Yeah.
Wow. So it was founded by your
My grandfather after the Second World War. Yeah, myself and my brother, we run it.
I love that it's a family business. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So these are ours as well?
Yeah, these are yours.
Wow.
So this is a Ford door.
Wow, it looks great.
Turned out really well.
There we go. Wow. Really well crafted. These are like felt or brush kind of seals.
Yeah, twin brush seals. So you've got 3 levels of redundancy here. You've got two seals here and a compression seal here.
So pretty much this thing is going to be a watertight door.
So the Ford windows.
We opted for clear glass on all the forward-facing windows because we do have the eyebrow that protects us from like sunlight, and we wanted to be able to see directly out. And then when we're at the marina, we don't want people walking by like looking into the boat, so we wanted a little bit more privacy. So then the aft-facing ones are the smoke colored. And then these are the different stages of construction over here.
Yeah, that's right. So this is before we attach the glass to the frame. adhesive. It's a survey-approved adhesive. We've had great success with it. Touch wood to date. Over the last 15 years we've been using it, we haven't had a fail.
Nice.
So,
That's good to hear.
Yeah, we're very happy with it.
This is like a ceramic edge banding?
That's exactly right. So being ceramic, it's about 90% glass. The other 10% is made up of a colour tint and some additives. And then the glass runs through the furnace, so it's fired into the face of the glass.
Oh, okay.
So it becomes a permanent fixture. So that then protects the sealant from the UV.
Ah, okay, because the UV will destroy the glue.
Correct.
Behind it.
Correct.
Okay.
We like to let it sit for at least 24 hours and give it a good clean up.
Wow, that comes out so clean, huh? Oh, awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem at all,
They look
Brian.
really fantastic.
Oh,
like,
thank
it's
you.
just, I couldn't wait to, I can't wait to see them on the boat.
It's great to have you out and show you what we do.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Well, much appreciated in getting us involved too.
Right on.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
So these are the black water tanks. And I think I found a really good spot for them up front here in this kind of wet locker area. Me and Dan noticed a little problem a little while ago. They won't, now that the frames are welded in, they just won't fit down there.
Is that like, remember when you were kids, you had those little games, plastic bits, and you had to try and get the triangle into the triangle,
Yeah.
and the square into the square? We failed in that, didn't we, Brian?
Apparently. So we changed the design of these hatches. You know, we went to flush mount hatches, so these frames have just been added in, which is one reason why it doesn't fit. And then the other one is that I opted for bigger black water tanks because on Delos we've always had this problem where we could only go like 3 or 4 days without needing to empty the tanks, and if you're in a marina, that's a real pain. And so these are 80-liter tanks. They're the biggest ones that Vita sells. But the nice thing is, we figured that they will fit in before these frames are welded on, so you can get it in like that. But once we're done with the welding, then
Which is gonna happen in the next, what,
within the
5
next
minutes?
15 minutes. I'm so happy that we got the black water tanks
Oh my
in there
God.
because I was just gonna go fit them when Dan was welding
Yeah.
up the hatch frames. He's like, it's gonna be a tight fit. I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna fit in there. And sure enough, like we actually had to put the black water tanks in before we finished welding up the hatch frames. Otherwise it wouldn't have fit.
But I feel like we had a really productive day today.
Yeah, I worked on a bunch of different things.
Yeah, the pump ended up really good.
That was probably the easiest thing I did today. The morning started off like that, and I was like,
Yes!
sweet, it's gonna be one of those days.
So-
Yeah, I got both black water tanks mounted,
Yep.
which is an awesome feat, which means that now I can start running all the hoses, like for the black water and for the toilet water, and so that's what I've been working on, is organizing hoses and going through bulkheads with bulkhead fittings and all that stuff, because I need to get all that done.
And then finished all the stuff up there. And we actually fitted one of the hatches. It is gonna need a little bit of adjustments, I think, but as
Oh, you did?
always, Dan is like,
Bob's me uncle.
But it's pretty late, and I think it's time to go and get Sierra.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a nice bicycle ride home.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go, we've got cameras coming from everywhere.
I think Brian's gonna call.
Comes Channel 7.
What was your face there? Holy shit.